Bear with me, guys.
Engineer General.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. General.
So let's start. Is my screen visible at your end, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So let's start. Let's start. So our topic for today is about bipolar junction transistors. Bipolar junction transistor. So before we dig deeper to the bipolar junction transistor itself, let's take the objective for this topic. So the first objective, class, is we are going to understand the basics. Pag-aaralan natin, ano ba ang isang BJT? Paano ba siya nabuo? And ano ba yung pinaka main parts ng isang BJT? The emitter, the base, and collector. At saan ba nakakonect ang isang emitter, ang isang base, at ang isang collector? And the second objective is, paano ba ang BJT nagwo-work? Maalalaman natin kung paano ba ang BJT nagwo-work with an electrical current. So, we are going to discover also a small current flowing into the base acts like a switch. So, the third objective, class, is we are using BJT as a switch. So, paano ba nagiging switch ang isang BJT? So, aalamin rin natin dun sa third objective. So, the fourth objective is we are going to know also, or we are going to use BJT as an amplifier naman. So, yun yung pinaka-main focus ng isang BJT as a switch and as an amplifier. So, let's go. Let's proceed. So, sinasabi, class, na the history of a bipolar junction transistor is, I can say na, fascinating journey siya. Why? Because nagsimula siya sa limitation ng isang vacuum tubes. So nakikita natin sa screen natin kung gaano kalalaki ang isang vacuum tubes. So parang isang malaking missile kung tutuusin isang vacuum tube. No. Sabihin, ganun pala kalalaki. Bago tayo nagkaroon ng mga diode, ng transistors, So from bigger size, large sizes na isang vacuum tube, bagus meron na nga yun tayo na maliit. Like yung um, nakikita nyo sa ating laboratory activity na kinoconnect nyo sa inyong mga LED. So, sinasabi dito, class, na vacuum tubes or valves are electronic devices that control the electric current flow in a vacuum between the electrodes acting as an amplifier, switches, or rectifier. So sinasabi rin dito, class, yung heated element na cathode, kapag po uminit yung cathode, nag-release po ito or nag-i-emit po ito ng isang electron o ng electrons. Pag nag-emit siya, class, ng electrons, tinatawag natin ito as the thermionic emission. Hello, nawala ako? Saan ba ako naputol? Okay, so let's start again. I will share my screen. Medyo nawala eh. Let's start. Let's continue. So, if we heated or kapag uminit po yung cathode, class, and it emits electron. When it emits electron, class, it is what we call the thermionic emission, which travels, class, through a vacuum to a positive electrode, which is the anode. So yung po ang isang vacuum tube. Ano po? So, the story class starts at the beginning of the 20th century pa. Yun, nag-start si vacuum tube. Ito yung class, this is the first electronic device na capable for controlling the flow of current. Pero hindi diyan natatapos class. Before we have a bipolar junction transistor, ito yung pinakauna, vacuum tubes. So for a short history, ito po siya. Ano pa? So, noong 1904 class, doon na-discover ang tinatawag nating Fleming bulb. English physicist si J.A. Fleming, John Ambrose Fleming, invented yung pinakaunang practical vacuum tube, which is what we call the thermionic valve. Thermionic valve. So yan po yung pinakauna na ni-discover, the first practical vacuum tube. So para siya yung siya mismo yung parang vacuum tube wherein it consisted yung mismong heated filament cathode glass at isang metal plate anode inside yung ating the evacuated glass bulb na meron. So yung two-element device, it acted class as a diode. So meaning, kapag it acts as a diode class, it allows class yung current to flow in only one direction. Ganon siya. So, it was also crucial component saan? For detecting radio signals, sa mga early wireless telegraphy at that time. So, doon po nag-start ang era ng isang vacuum tube. So, sinundan po ito noong 1906 by Lee De Forest. Siya naman po, vacuum tube din siya, pero triode naman. So, we all know, pag diode class, 2 yung electrode. We have cathode and we have anode. So ngayon, through Lee De Forest, in-improve niya yung Fleming's bulb. Nag-add siya ng third electrode. That it is a wire mesh called a grid. G-R-I-D. So yun po yung patatlong electrode. Saan po siya nakikita? We can see the grid between the cathode and the anode. At tinatawag niya po yung invention niya as the Odeon. Bakit po niya tinawag na Odeon yun? Because yung small voltage na in-applied natin sa third electrode, which is the grid, ang nangyayari, kinokontrol niya yung much larger current flowing from the cathode to anode. So, kapag na-control niya yung class, it makes the first electronic amplifier at that time. So sa amin, sa electronics engineering, pag sinasabi natin amplifier, we are parang yung signal na mahina ay napapalakas natin. Pero sa amin, sa ECE, kinoconsider namin na yung amplifier is we are altering or we are changing the signal. Hindi lang siya pampalakas ng signal. We are altering the signal. So this was a revolutionary development class that made yung mga long distance telephone natin and commercial, mga radio broadcasting possible. Kaya yung mga signal nakakaabot sa mga malalayong lugar through the amplifier. So amazing. Yes naman. So, noon ngang nagkaroon ng drawbacks regarding the vacuum tube, di ba? While vacuum tubes class were massively forward, they had a significant drawbacks at that time. Class, they were large, napakalalaki ng vacuum tube. Fragile din siya. Since siya ay malaki class, it consumed lot of power. So, kapag nakapag-consume siya ng lot of power, matik, nakakapag-generate rin siya ng maraming heat. At ang surprising dito class, yung vacuum tube, limited lang yung lifespan niya. So, scientists began to search for a more robust and efficient alternative. Kaya doon ngayon, nag-rise ang semiconductors. Amazing. So, doon po nag-start ang ating semiconductor. So, from the tubes na meron to materials known as the semiconductors, like yung germanium natin, silicon na meron tayo. Noong 1939 class, ito yung nagkaroon ng discovery regarding the ultra pure crystals. Scientists like Russell All na nakikita natin sa screen, saan ko po siya nakita? Sa Bell Lab siya, second floor, dulo. Ano po? Doon ko siya nakita. He was working with a highly purified silicon crystal at that time. And ini-improve niya yung performance na to as a rectifiers pa. Pero nung 1939 class, nagkaroon ng discovery na dun sa mismong silicon nagkaroon ng crack. Ano? He discovered that a crack in one of his silicon samples created a natural boundary. At yung natural boundary class, it acted like a switch. Then this phenomenon is understood as the PN junction. Amazing. Ano? So, he found class na kapag inilawan natin yung crystal, merong current na napoproduce. So it demonstrate class na yung first working solid state ng solar cell, it demonstrate the first working solid state solar cell at that time. So, ang kagalingan nito class, accidental discovery siya. So this accidental discovery class prove that semiconductor junction, which is the PN junction, could control current without vacuum. Diba? So doon nag-start ang ating rise ng isang semiconductor. Pero, the question, sir, after ba ng PN junction, BJT na po agad? Hindi po. Ano? Nag-start siya through the work on the PN junction class. Nag-start with the what we call the point contact transistor. Ito po yung itsura niya. Yan. This is what we call the point contact transistor. Sino pong gumawa niyan, sir? That is, physicist sila, si Walter Brattain, John Bardeen, and William Shockley. So in books, so sinasabi na silang tatlo daw po ang nakagawa. Pero sa tunay na buhay class, Walter Brattain and John Bardeen works or invent the point contact transistor. Si William Shockley, he is the director at that time. Kumbaga para siyang thesis advisor in a Walter Brattain at John Bardeen. So sila po, fourth floor naman sila ng Bell Labs. So kaya ko sila ay nakikita because janitor ako noon eh. Janitor ako sa Bell Labs. So lahat ng floors alam ko. At alam ko rin kung sino yung mga nagwo-work doon. Ano? So at that time class, this Walter Brattain and John Bardeen were investigating the surface properties ng isang semiconductor. At surprisingly class, noong December 1947, nag-succeed sila in building the first working transistor. Tinatawag siyang point contact transistor. So ginagamitan siya class ng 2 gold foil na nakikita natin dito sa ating screen. 2 gold foil siya class na it contacts press on a small lab which is yung germanium na meron. Ano po? So pinapakita lang nito class na yung maliit na current at one contact can control yung much larger current at the other. So it demonstrate class na same amplification effect lang ang ginamit rin sa vacuum tube triode. And the term transistor class was coined from the trans resistance. So balik tayo sa slide natin kanina. So nag-start pala siya sa PCT bago maging BJT. So sino naman sir naka-discover ng BJT? Siya naman po yung director, si William Shockley. Just a month lang yun ha. Isang buwan lang ang pagitan after the point contact transistor was invented. Na-invento naman ni William Shockley or na-develop naman niya yung bipolar junction transistor. Ano? So doon makikita natin yung sandwich parang theory wherein NPN, it's either NPN or PNP. So kapag sinabi natin NPN, marami yung N-type. So ang majority charge carrier is the electrons. So for PNP, the majority charge carrier is the holes. So nakakaunawaan po tayo doon. And surprisingly, yung si Bardeen, Brattain, and Shockley ay Nobel Prize awardee sa physics. 1956 yan. So, this is one, the invention of BJT by William Shockley. So, sinasabi, William Shockley made a successful attempt of making a bipolar junction transistor. Siya si William Shockley. Tanda na ni William Shockley. Wala na si William Shockley. Pero si Engineer Reyes ay nandito pa. Amazing Grace. So amazing. So next, let's proceed sa tinatawag nating bipolar junction transistor. Isa-isahin natin, class. Isa-isahin natin. So ano bang isang transistor? Unahin mo natin sa baba. Transistor, class, is a semiconductor device na nag-a-act like a gatekeeper for an electric current. Yung name na transistor, class, is blend of a transfer and resistor. Meaning, yung ability niya, class, nagta-transfer ng electrical signal by changing its resistance. So, ganun siya. Kaya naging transistor. So, it coined by John Robinson Pierce. O, kilala ko rin yan, si John Robinson Pierce because electrical engineer siya sa Bell Labs. Hindi lang siya electrical engineer sa Bell Lab, science fiction author din siya. He suggests, class, yung name na transistor because yung device, class, nakakapag-transfer ng signal across all the resistor. Yes naman. So yun po, ang isang transistor. How about, sir, ang isang junction? Alam natin ang junction. In electronics, class, yung junction, class, ito yung boundary ng two different type ng isang semiconductor materials. Kapag sila ay doon nag-meet, kapag pure, ito, question, class. I have question here. Kapag pure ang isang silicon, does it conduct electricity well? Hello. What do you think, class? If we have a pure silicon, does it conduct electricity well? Based on the topics na inaral natin before. No, what do you think? Do you have any idea? If we have a pure silicon, does it conduct electricity well? Wait lang, sir. Chinachat-chat, tinitingnan lang pa po sa AI. So, what do you think? Anyone? Hello? Hello. Narinig niyo ba ako? Okay, narinig naman. Sige, magtawag tayo. Ayaw niyong sumagot, ha? Magtawag tayo. Sir, wag naman sanang matawag. So, how about you, Denmark? What do you think?
No po.
Why? Why no? Can you explain your answer? Can you elaborate? Hello. Can you elaborate? What is your answer? Sabi mo, no. Bakit no? Based on the topics, the discussion before, how can we say na yung pure silicon ay nakakapag-conduct electricity well? Yun ba? For conductor, I'm not, hindi ko. Ito tatanggap not acceptable for conductor. How about the others? Can you explain? Bakit walang makasagot? Kapag pure silicon ba, kaya niya makapag-conduct ng electricity? How about you, Mark Lawrence?
Sir, kung ano po ba yung pure silicon po is magko-conduct po ng electricity.
Yes.
Ano po siya, sir, since ang pure silicon po is semiconductor, so hindi po siya gaano siguro magano
Why?
ng electricity conduct.
Ako naman. That is the exact answer what I want. So, kaysa magtagal pa tayo, ano? So, a pure semiconductor class like silicon doesn't conduct electricity. To make it useful class, anong ginagawa natin? We dope it with impurities. A pure silicon nga siya eh. So, hindi natin makapag-conduct talaga siya. So, matik, dadagdagan natin ng impurities. To make it useful, we dope it with impurities. So, in terms of the junction, kapag meron tayong N-type, dope with atoms that have extra electrons. That is the negative charge carriers. How about the P-type? It doped with atoms that have a shortage of electrons, creating holes that acts as a positive charge carrier. Crucial yung boundary niya, class, because it allows the current to flow in only one direction. Diba? And a BJT class is made of two of this junction. Kung yung diode, one junction only, the BJT is made of two of this junction. Naka-arrange like a sandwich-like structure. Bakit sandwich? Na iniipit yung nasa gitna, like NPN or PNP. So naunawaan niyo po. Are we clear on that? Do you have any question, clarification, or violent reaction before we proceed to the bipolar? Do you have any questions? None so far. Okay. Parang tamad na ang EE.
Sige lang.
So next, let's proceed with the bipolar itself. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng bipolar? Sir, yun po yung paiba-ibang ugali. Joke lang. So, bipolar class means it tells us about the type of charge carrier that move to the transistor. So, meron tayong two types ng charge carrier, di ba? What are those? They are the electrons and holes. Pag electrons, negative carrier siya from the N-type material. While yung holes, positive carrier naman siya sa isang P-type material. Yan na po. Yung pareho charge carrier na to, class, ay essential para yung BJT natin mag-function. This is what distinguishes it from other transistor. Bakit po? Ang bipolar, both electrons and holes ay present para makontrol yung flow ng larger current with a small input signal. Pero, ang isang FET class, unipolar po siya. Because yung operation niya, class, nakadepende on only one type ng isang charge carrier. It's either electrons or hole. Hindi po pwedeng pareho. Sa bipolar lang po iyon. Tatandaan niyo. Ano? So, I have a question here also, class, na nakikita niyo sa screen. Nakalimutan kong burahin. Nakikita niyo yung diode na back-to-back. Diba? Kung iisipin natin, ang isang BJT parang back-to-back na diode. Kung tunay to, class, why can't we just buy two diodes and connect them back-to-back para mag-create tayo ng isang BJT? Pwede palang gano'n, back-to-back na lang na diode. Eh bakit tayo bumuo pa ng isang BJT? What do you think? Hello? Okay, go.
Sir, from our previous lessons po, we learned that diode nag-allow po siya ng current flow in one direction. Tapos sa base din po sa experiment, kung babaliktarin po natin yung legs ng diode, hindi po nailaw yung LED. So pag po binack to back, hindi po gagana. I think.
Yeah, partially correct. Because it completely breaks class, yung crucial, which is the continuous flow ng isang charge carrier para gumana ang isang transistor. Ano? So, yeah, partially correct. Pero, kumbaga, kung tutusin, we cannot connect two separate diodes back to back. Bakit? Because ang tunay na BJT class ay single crystal ng isang semiconductor material lang. Yung base region niya class ay hindi nakaseparate sa mismong silicon. Ang base region niya class ay manipis lamang at very lightly doped layer. That is part of the continuous crystal structure na meron. So yung unique construction class, inaalaw yung minority carrier ma-diffuse sa kanyang BJT's operation. Kapag tayo po ay nag-connect, when you connect class or when you connect two separate diodes, you have an air gap or a metal connection between them. Kapag nagkaroon tayo ng air gap class, it completely breaks the continuous flow of charge carriers that makes the transistor work. Amazing. Ano? So, ganun po yun. So, to conclude class, ang isang BJT. So, pag sinabing transistor, it acts an electronic valve. Ano? Tiny electrical signal class na kinokontrol niya yung mga terminals na meron, which is base. Ano ba yung base? It can manage a much larger current class na nagko-flow sa ating main path from the collector to the emitter. So, dun yung sa transistor. Kapag naman sinasabi natin sa junction, dalawa yung junction niya class. And for its operation class, bipolar siya. Meaning, both electrons and holes to do its job. Hindi po siya unipolar. The unipolar is the field effect transistor. Ganun po yun. So nagkakaintindihan po tayo sa isang BJT. Are we clear on that?
Yes po.
Okay. So let's proceed. So clear pala po yun. So, wait lang. Kalimutan ko palang burahin. Shit. Okay, is my screen visible na po? Visible po ulit siya. So let's proceed, let's continue. So now we are going to discuss the BJT construction. Ano ba ang meron sa isang BJT construction? We can see here class, we have three distinct layers. The first one is the emitter. Ano pong meron kay emitter? Emitter class, ang job niya po ay mag-emit or mag-inject ng charge carrier papunta sa base. Tatandaan niyo yun ha. Ang charge carrier from the emitter ay papunta sa base. To do this effectively class, it is heavily doped with impurities. Heavily doped siya ha, tatandaan niyo. Ang emitter po ay heavily doped with impurities. It is the most highly doped class sa three regions natin dito. Sir, paano po si base? The base here is very thin, middle layer na isang sandwich. Ang purpose niya class ay mag-control ng flow ng charge carrier from the emitter papunta sa collector. Bakit? The reason is very thin siya and lightly doped. Lightly doped. So this is a critical design class because ini-ensure ng base region that most of the carriers injected from the emitter pass right through the base and collected rather than we are recombining with the base region itself. So yun po. So ano po ang isang collector? The collector job is to collect. Matik. Siya ang magko-collect ng charge carrier na pinas ng emitter sa base and base to collector. So it is now a moderately doped. May moderately doped siya class. Sabihin, less than the emitter but more than the base. So in terms of physical size niya, sino ang pinakamalaki? Matic collector is the largest from the three regions. The larger the size class, it helps to dissipate yung heat generated by the current flowing through the transistor. Especially kapag nag-ooperate tayo with high power. Pag matataas na yung mga machines. Ay, bakit nagkaganon? So, yun po ang isang BJT construction. So, in terms of the asymmetry ng isang BJT class, yun yung, we have two asymmetry ng isang BJT, the doping level and the physical size. So, once again, masasabi natin, in terms of the doping level, ang emitter ang heavily doped, ang base po ang lightly doped, and the collector is moderately doped. In terms of the physical size, sino po ang pinakamalaki? Matic si collector. Collector is the largest. The biggest region. So largest siya. Largest. How about the base? Siya po yung smallest. Siya po ang pinakamaliit sa 3 region. About the emitter, medium lang siya. Nasa gitna. Ano pa? So, in summary class, yung BJT's construction, heavily doped ang emitter, very thin and lightly doped ang base para makontrol nyo yung flow with minimal loss, and large and moderately doped naman po ang ating collector. So, it efficiently collect the carriers and nadidissipate niya yung heat na meron. So sir, lagi mo sinasabi na yung base ay napaka-nipis, napakaliit. Gaano ba kanipis ang isang base? Gusto niyo bang malaman kung gaano kanipis ang base? Hilo? Ay, parang ayaw. So, ang nipis ng isang base class, the base region of a BJT class is incredibly thin. Ika nga, its thinness is one of the most critical factor that allows yung transistor para mag-work as an amplifier. Sinadya po na ang base region ay manipis para maging amplifier style siya. Kung ipuput natin into a perspective style class, like sa analogy ng isang human hair, sa inyong P6 class, yung human hair is about 80,000 to 100,000 nanometers wide. Ganun po. In contrast, yung base region class natin in a modern bipolar junction transistor can be thin as 50 nanometer or even less. Ano pong meaning nito? This means class na yung single human hair is roughly 2,000 times thicker sa ating BJT's base. So, kung bibigyan natin o papakaisipin natin, kapag kumuha ka ng isang, if you have a single human hair, kumuha ka ng buhok mo, kumuha ka ng isang buhok, and i-slice mo siya ng 2,000 pieces. Ganon po kanipis ang weight ng isang transistor base. Diga, ganon kanipis. this extreme thinness ensure class na yung electron ay ini-inject natin from the emitter cross the base almost instantly without having a chance para ma-recombine with the holes in the base region. Buhok sa ulo. Ikaw naman. Kung ano ng buhok. Buhok sa ulo, human hair. Pwede rin naman.
Kahit sa ang buhok. Pag in-slice mo siya ng 2,000 times, ganun kanipis ang base region. Amazing grace.
So, goods pa tayo doon. Hello. Tawa si Arnold. Sir, saan, hindi mo nililinaw, saan bang buhok yan? Sa ulo. Sa ulo. Or gusto mo sa kilikili, kung bahala.
Buhok sa binti.
Oh, pwede rin naman. Ay, huwag ka naman mag-suggest. Hayaan mo na. Yun na yun. So, let's have a break. 4 minutes break. So, let's come back here around 11:40.
Slice muna daw kayo
Ano?
ng buhok. 2,000 slice.
Hello. Kabalik na bang lahat? Hello. Okay, let's continue so that we can finish early. So, tapos na rin ako. Konti na lang. So, let's continue. So, sa ating BJT class, meron tayong two main types. The first type is yung NPN transistor. So, this type consists of P-type class base sandwich between the two N-type layers na nakikita natin sa emitter and the collector. Yung configuration na to class, the majority carriers are electrons na nagpo-flow sa ating emitter through the base and to the collector. Yung symbol na nakikita nyo dyan, this one, the circuit symbol, the circuit symbol for an NPN transistor class shows an arrow on the emitter pointing out of the device. So this is a NPN and this one is a PNP. Ano po? So sa inyo pong mga examinations or sa mga if you are working with a circuit class, hindi naman ganito ang nakikita nyo. Ang nakikita nyo po ay ganitong symbol. So paano nyo po malalaman na yung symbol pong iyan ay, what I mean is NPN or PNP. So ito lang yan. When we are studying for our board examination, kapag NPN, palabas na siya. Palabas yung arrow. So meaning, nakapasok. Yung meaning ng NPN. Nakapasok na. Yung arrow ha, yung arrow. We are referring to the arrow. Meaning, nakapasok na. So ang arrow natin, palabas na. How about PNP? Paloob yung arrow eh. Pasok na pasok. Ang itibaga naman ay ibang-iba eh. So ang PNP, pasok na pasok. Ibig sabihin yung arrow ha, we're referring to the arrow. Pasok na pasok ang arrow. So yun po ang PNP transistor. Opposite siya class ng isang NPN because N-type base sandwich naman siya between the two P-type layers. The majority carrier here are holes class that flow from the emitter to the collector. Yung symbol niya, ito, the circuit symbol for PNP transistor has an arrow on the emitter pointing into the device na meron. So yung direction ng arrow niya on the emitter terminal are always points from the P-type material to the N-type material. So ganito ang arrow. So naunawaan po ang two types ng isang BJT. The two main types are the NPN transistor and the PNP transistor. So goods tayo dito sa BJT construction. Okay. So let's proceed with the notations. So BJT notations class. Dito, feel ko alam na alam nyo. Alam na alam nyo to. Because kayo ay EE. So in node voltages class, VC, BB, and BE. So junction voltages, BBE, BCB, and BCE. The source voltages, BCC, BBB, and BE. Nasaan po yan? So let's draw a circuit here, a small circuit. Bagos this BJT is NPN. Bagos nakakonect to sa supply. And then this supply is connected to the ground. So matic, nakikita natin, nandito yung collector. Yun yung collector. So dito naman, nakakonect ulit siya sa supply, then connected sa ground. So nasa naman po ang ating emitter? Nandito naman po ang ating emitter. So dito, connected ulit sa supply, then connected sa ground. So, nasa naman po ang base? Nandito naman po ang base. Ano? Kaya base, collector, and emitter. Sir, nasan po yung ating mga node voltages? So, dito makikita ang BC. Ay, siya. Nagkamali. Palitan natin ang kulay. So, dito natin makikita ang ating node voltages, VC. Saan po makikita ang VE? Nandito ang VE natin. Ang ating BB ay nandito. So, sir, saan po nakikita ang source voltages? Junction voltages muna pala. Gawin natin dark blue. Ay, baka hindi makita. Light. Green na lang. Green pala yung kanina. Yan. So, makikita ang junction voltages. Yung BBE, matik na dito siya. BB, ay, hindi makita pa. Yellow. BBE. Yo. Ito siya. Ano? So, ang BBC or BCB, ito po siya. BCB. Ang ating BCE, BCE. Yo. How about source voltages, sir? Dito po ang ating VCC. Dito po ang ating BBB. And ito po ang ating BBE. Magkakaintindihan po tayo doon. Hello. So, for node voltages class, palitan ko lang muna uli ang ating red. So, yung node voltages class, these are the voltages at each of the three terminals ng ating BJT. It measure with respect sa mismong common ground reference niya. Yung VC, that is what we call the collector voltage. Mamaya ako. Ang ating BB, that is the base voltage. And ang ating BE, that is the emitter voltage. Ano mo? So yung BC po natin, the voltage at the collector terminal. How about BB? The voltage at the base terminal. Ang BE, the voltage at the emitter terminal. So po, yun po yun. So how about the junction voltages class? These are the voltage drop across the junction within the BJT. So nire-represent niya class yung difference in the potential between the two terminals. Yung BBE natin, that is voltage from the base to emitter. Sabihin, voltage siya from the base to emitter. So paano po makikita natin yung voltage doon? That is BB minus BE. How about the BCB, sir? Voltage from the collector to the base. So BCB is equals to BC minus BB. BCE is the voltage from the collector to the emitter. So VCE is equals to BC minus BE. So yung BCE natin class, ito yung output voltage natin sa transistor. Yung BBE class natin, critical voltage siya because kinokontrol ng BBE yung current flowing through the transistor. Ano po? So nagkakaunawaan po tayo doon? Are we clear on that? Okay, clear po tayo doon. So sa source voltages naman class, these are the voltages naman na supplied by the external power sources connected sa ating circuit. They are typically named with double subscript. Bakit? Para ma-distinguish natin ito from the node voltages. Yung BCC class, ito yung power supply na connected sa collector. Ang BBE, that is the power supply connected to the base. And our BBE is the power supply connected sa ating emitter. So are we clear on that? So nakikita natin dito. So nakikita natin dito yung kung saan ba located yung ating mga node voltages, junction voltages, and source voltages. So that is the BJT notation. So nagkakaunawaan po tayo doon. Hello?
Yes po.
Okay. So next. Next one. In terms of the current flow class, sa current flow naman natin, alam niyo yan, nakikita natin yung IC. IC is the collector current, di ba? Ito yung main current class flowing sa ating collector. Si IB naman, base current siya na very small yung pag-control ng current because nanggagaling siya sa base. This current class is what turns on the transistor. So sa kanya, nakabase kung magta-turn on ba ang isang transistor. Ano po? So yung IE naman class, emitter current siya. Because yung sum ng isang collector at base current, yun yung IE. Kaya nga meron tayong formula eh. IE is equals to IC plus IB. Is equal.
Yan. Alam ko is equal.
Lagi nyo na ako kinurse. Nawawala ako doon sa
Is equal to. Or equals.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing graces. Buti ka muna po.
Oo nga. Amazing Graces. Tawa kayo. So, ayun. So, sige, magbigay tayo ng analogy dito. Paano ba gumagana ang IE, IC at IB? So, kunyari, river system class. Isang river system. To make this understandable, yung IE represent the main river natin. So, meaning, this is the total current leaving the transistor system. So, yung IC, ito yung largest tributary ng ating river system. This is the main body of water, making up the vast majority ng mismong river. Si IB naman, small stream siya ng ating river system. This is a tiny stream that joins the main river just before the transistor system ends. Yung change sa flow ng isang small stream can significantly control class yung flow ng mismong IC natin, which is the main tributary. So, ganun po. Kumbaga, yun yung analogy sa isang river system. So, clear tayo doon? Hello? Clear tayo. So, next one. So, ito yung ating BJT works with regions of operation. Pero unahin natin yung characteristic curve. Ano? So, this is the characteristic curve. Anong meron kay characteristic curve class? So, isang characteristic curve class, kapag sinabi natin cut-off region, this is the bottom line na nakikita natin sa ating graph, where the base current is 0. So, imagine, meron tayong ilaw na naka-off position. So kapag naka-off yung isang light switch, yung circuit ay naka-open. So walang current na magpo-flow doon. So yung transistor class is blocking all the current from the collector to the emitter. So in electronic side, yung base emitter junction ay naka-reverse bias. Sa isang cut-off region, naka-reverse bias po ang ating base emitter. So meaning, walang base current na nagpo-flow. Kumbaga, totally shut off yung mismong transistor natin. And the collector current becomes effectively 0. So yung transistor has a very high resistance between the collector and the emitter. So ganun po siya. In terms of the cut-off region. Meaning yung cut-off region fully off, fully off siya. Walang nagkakandak, walang nagpo-flow ng current. How about the saturation region? Itong region naman to class is, we can see in the far left ng ating graph, where yung curve niya class ay kakaiba sa base current. Ano? So yung collector emitter is very small. Typically, mga around 0.2 volts lang yun. Yung BCE niya. So, kung bibigyan natin ng explanation here, ngayon meron tayong light switch ulit. Kung kanina, yung light switch natin, totally off, ngayon ang light switch naman natin, fully on. Kung kanina, ang circuit ay open, ngayon naman, ang circuit ay closed. So the current is flowing at its maximum possible level. So no matter how much we push the switch para ma-increase yung base current, yung ilaw class ay hindi na liliwanag pa. The light won't get any brighter. Dahil nandoon na siya nasa maximum state na So the transistor is saturated with the current. So that is a saturation region. So meaning fully on. Ano po? So in electronic side, yung ating both base and emitter and base collector, the BE, base emitter and base collector natin class ay naka-forward bias. Ano po? So kapag naka-forward bias yung class, it allows a maximum current to flow. So yung voltage drop across the transistor itself, which is yung BCE, ay in-minimize. Ano? Kapag minimize siya, it make class or it make yung behavior niya class ay very low resistance close switch. So ganun po siya. So are we clear on that? Kung kanina nakikita natin may saturation, may cut-off region, ngayon meron rin naman pong active region. So gaano ba ka-active ang EE? So in terms of the active region, ito yung nakikita natin na nasa gitna. Ano? Yung base emitter junction naka-forward bias din. The base emitter junction class naka-forward bias. Ang kanya naman pong base collector naka-reverse bias. So, ano ba? I can say na this is a sweet spot because yung collector current ay directly proportional sa ating base current by a factor called the beta or gain na meron. So yung relationship niya, yung core relationship niya, meron tayong IC is equals to beta times ID. So diyan, masasabi natin na tunay, through the active region. Yeah, sir, bakit po may Q point doon sa ating characteristic curve? Because the Q point is the operating point sa isang transistor. Kapag wala pong input signal na in-apply. So Q point is what we call the quiescent point. Specific that siya sa ating characteristic curve na dinidefine by a set value ng isang IC or yung BCE na meron. So yung Q point class, pwede siyang maging for amplifiers or for switches. Sir, paano niyo mo nasasabing pwedeng for amplifiers and for switches? Because to make the transistor act as a good amplifier class, yung Q point class or yung Q point na nakikita niyo sa ating characteristic curve ay nasa middle or nasa active region natin. So kapag nasa gitna siya, it acts like a amplifier. Kapag naging amplifier siya class, this gives the incoming AC signal to swing both up and down. So pag switches naman po, pag switches class, yung ating Q point, it's either nasa cut-off siya or nasa saturation region. Kapag ang Q point class nakikita nyo sa saturation or sa cut-off region, meaning switches siya. Pwede siyang fully off or fully on. Kapag nasa gitna ang ating Q point, matic amplifier siya. So that is the characteristic curve. So this is the summary for that. Ano? Region of operation. Pag cut off, yung base emitter natin, naka-reverse bias. Sa base collector, reverse bias. So it acts as a switch. Saturation acts as a switch din. Then yung forward active, BJT as an amplifier naman po siya. Sir, bakit po meron diyang reverse bias? Sa isang reverse bias class ng ating BJT, ang reverse bias class ay opposite lang na isang forward active. Sa base emitter class, ang the inverse active is naka-reverse bias. Ang base collector ay naka-forward bias naman. So baliktad lang yon, yung forward active at saka inverse active. So ganun lang siya. Bibihira namang gamitin yung inverse active. Bibihira lang iyon. So yung inverse active, tinatawag rin natin siyang reverse active region. Tinatawag rin siyang reverse active region. Opposite siya ng mismong forward active mode. Nakakaintindihan po tayo doon? Hello. Are we clear on this one?
Yes po.
Okay. So for today, this will be the last slide. This saturation active and cut-off. So paliwanag ko lang to ng mabilisan. So to grasp more information. In saturation class, this is also a summary. Yung ating base emitter voltage ay naka-forward bias. And our collector base voltage is naka-forward bias kapag in saturation mode. Kapag naka-forward bias class siya, yung base emitter voltage ay greater than or equal sa 0.7 volt. And dahil lang may So kapag siya po ay ang ating base emitter voltage ay greater than or equal sa 0.7 volt, matic yung ating base current and the collector current is greater than 0. So kung greater than 0 siya, therefore our collector emitter voltage is equal sa ating VCE saturation na almost equal sa ating 0.2 volts. So yang sinasabi ko ay para ring nasa characteristic curve. Makikita nyo rin doon. So sinamarize lang natin para mas madali ninyong malaman. So kaya po most of the time, pag hinahanap po ang BBE, equal siya sa 0.7.
Basically, hindi tayo may watermark. Hindi ma-screenshot.
Pag may screenshot, galing yan ako. So, in active mode naman po, kung kanina, both BE and CB ay naka-forward bias, ang ating base emitter and collector base voltage naman po. Sa base emitter, forward bias. Sa ating collector base, naka-reverse bias. So, same din siya with the saturation. Yung BBE ay greater than or equal sa 0.7 volts. And greater than din sa 0 ang ating IB at IC. Pero, yung BCC naman ay greater than or equal sa BCE. And the BCE is greater than or equal sa BCE saturation. And lastly, for the cut-off, both base emitter voltage and the collector base voltage is in reverse bias. Kapag naka-reverse bias po BBE at BCB, yung base emitter voltage ay less than 0.7 voltage. So, yung ating base current and the collector current ay equal na po sa zero. Kapag po equal na sa zero ang ating base current and collector current, yung ating collector emitter voltage ay equal na mismo sa ating supply, which is yung BCC. So, yun. Kala, kinig na kinig kala may tunay. So, yun. Doon muna natin. Tapos na ako, wag mo lang laksan. Ano mo pang nilalaksan So, yun po. Dito muna natin tatapusin ang ating bipolar junction resistor. And tomorrow, we will discuss the configuration as well as the biasing na meron. So, naiintindihan po ba yun? Are we clear on that? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Since we are clear on that, thank you so much for attending this meeting.
Ako magpamitoy palakasan, baby.
Thank you so much for attending this meeting. Thank you, engineer. Padayon engineers. Bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.